Nowadays, image making is done digitally. So people are used to having this instant gratification. And when they see like this laborious process that has this kind of, and it goes through different stages, it creates this wonder of we can create images in another way. And it's just a beautiful reaction. My name is Santiago Borthwick. I'm a portrait photographer based in France, although I travel a lot for personal projects and work. I do a lot of street photography, or more accurately, photography in the streets. I started taking pictures like 15 years ago. I used to paint big murals with spray paints with a friend, and I used to hate photographers. And then this friend just looked at me, gave me a camera and told me, keep it for 6 months. And since then I started taking a ton of pictures and started working on older and older processes. So that was how I fell in love with it, and now it's my main activity. I mean, it's a way of working that gives you a lot of freedom. You start when you want, you stop when you want, you go where you want. Just set out, go somewhere where there's flow, where there's people walking, and then you just offer to take their portraits. I also just like to go somewhere in a random city, and you just, once you set up, people are curious. They're like, what are you doing? That's something that has a certain kind of magic. It also gives access to photography to everyone. There's a lot of people who come and ask you questions, and they're working class or they're more like me. If you work in a studio, you're gonna get a certain kind of audience, and it's usually upper middle class or people who are more on the rich side of society, and I prefer to work with everyone. That's why I also work in prix libre, free price. I don't ask a set fee.
C'est génial.
People give me whatever they can or want. I started a few months ago doing a direct positive process. This one is a bit underexposed, but I love it. He has this very melancholic look. This process, since it's a reversal process, it's a bit the same principle that Polaroids use.
Je l'ai surexposé à mort.
So first you take a paper that's going to be blank. You load it into the chassis in the dark, and then you shoot the picture. And afterwards, in the dark again, you do a first development. It's going to be a black and white development. Then you take it out, flood the picture with light, and then do color development. And then you do bleach to remove the first negative, and then fix it. And the picture is done. Clean it, put it in water, let it dry, and you get a direct positive. So that's an interesting question, because the portrait, it's not only the result. I mean, the result can be technically proficient, it can be well composed, it can be a decent picture, a good picture. But for me, a portrait is more a reflection of of the moment. So, for example, this one is underexposed. It has some like technical problems, but it's one of my favorite portraits that I've ever taken. I feel I've told or I've shown what I saw in this person, which wasn't obvious immediately. And for me, that's when I know that it's a good portrait. When I feel this connection with the subject and with the result. I started doing a ton of like digital photography, but I moved towards this kind of where you get these like objects, because the fact that the result is delayed, it also creates the capacity for wonder, for disappointment, and that gives you something beautiful for your life, for a wider, not only for photography, but just the capacity to fail and get up again and try again. And it creates this resilience. So I encourage everyone to try and fail and be frustrated and then rise again.